Welcome everyone, I'm your local magical girl Lottie Starshot with a slight gotcha addiction. Just a slight gotcha addiction. Thank you everyone for stopping by. I hope everyone is well today. We're going to continue with Hakuoki Kyoto wins. We finished the prologue and then we have the general routes before we get to the actual routes. Actually, let me get the walkthrough up because we're definitely following a walkthrough so we can get every single route. Let's see. Let me get it up real quick. I definitely have it on my phone. Alright, and then the keys. Like the keys, the key. Yeah, whatever. The thing to get to. I don't know the word. Go back is K. Is it K? Hold on. Click. Return. K. Gotta unlock all the routes. Yes, we gotta unlock every single route. That is what we're trying to do. Oh, L is for return. There we go. Then L again. L again. Okay. And we will continue. So yeah, we did the prologue. I ended up saving it twice, but I meant to save it once, so it was this one. This is the beginning of chapter 1. And I have that written down so I know which each save file is for. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead. Let me go back real quick on my phone. Oh yeah, so file 1, end of prologue, begin of chapter 1. And since technically this is like my second playthrough of Hakuoki, I played Hakuoki when I was younger on my Vita when I first discovered Otome games. So I don't really have much memories of everything, but I'm not really going to go in order because usually Otome games have an order of routes because they might unlock a certain information for another route if you go in a certain order. But I'm just going to kind of do order of my favorite characters. So we're actually going to start... Actually, wait, Hakuoki. Does Hakuoki stops you from playing other routes first? Because I know some Otome games make you play like 3 or 2 guys routes first before everything else is unlocked. So we'll actually play through and see what happens. I want to start on Okita's route, honestly. So that's what we'll do, chapter 1 for Okita. So we'll see how that plays out. Alright, so I got the walkthrough beside me. And everything's great. Oh, so hold on, before we start. So my mom bought us, me and my brother and her, some smoothies today because she felt like eating some smoothies. Well, technically drinking smoothies. And then usually I get like the mango smoothie they have at the place, but it wasn't as sweet as it usually is for some reason. Like I'm tasting it, it's like you can get a hint of the mango, but that's really it, just mango and ice basically. So I had to dump in a whole bunch of sugar just to make it taste better. But yes, we're going to be starting with Okita's route, so let me get that straight. So prologue, I guess quick recap. We went to Kyoto to try and find our father who disappeared. Like he was there on work and then he stopped sending letters to us. So now we're here trying to find him. Oh, and we're also disguised as a guy because, you know, being a girl by ourselves out here in Kyoto is very dangerous. And so Okita, Hajime, and Hijikata came and saved us, and we kind of had to travel with them because they killed some people, even though those people were evil. But yeah, we're kind of stuck with them, so we'll continue with that. Was it morning? Um, what happened to me? I attempted to recollect myself. Ah, yes. Right. All at once, the events of the previous night rushed back to me. This isn't my room. My limbs were snugly bound in tight knots, so all I could do was wriggle around in bed, twisting the blankets around me. I yearned for the comfort of my own futon, but the futility of such thoughts only forced me to confront the reality of my situation. If only I could wake from this strange nightmare. But I could not. Those men from the night before must have taken me with them. To the headquarters of the Shinsengumi. What will happen to me now? Well, honestly, I think we're pretty safe because if they wanted to kill us, they probably would have done it that night when we caught them killing those guys. So we have some sort of use to them. I inhaled deeply, lying down to await my fate. It was at that moment that the door slid open, and a kind-looking man stepped through. Oh, so we're tied up. His smile quirked as he removed my ropes. My wrists, however, were left bound. And you are?
Ah, そうか。私はね、井上源三郎というんだ。
Thank you, Inoue.
さて、ちょっと来てくれるかい？今朝から幹部連中であんたについて話し合っているんだ。ゆうべ、あんたが何を見たのか確かめておきたいってことになってね。
Do I gotta lie and say I saw nothing even though they saw me? Alright. I nodded curtly and struggled to stand, but my body was sore from being bound up all night. Inoue treated me with something like courtesy, but it was clear that I was in a lesser position. He must have been able to guess my thoughts, however, because he smiled at me and winked.
心配しなくても大丈夫さ。なりは怖いが気のいい者たちばかりだよ。
Oh. Even at home, I heard rumors of the vicious Shinsengumi that were unflattering. It was hard to imagine that the people in charge of such an organization were gentlemen.
一番年の若い東堂君は君よりちょっと年上くらいだよ。それに長倉君と原田君という賑やかな二人組もいるから大丈夫。
Despite Inoue's reassurances, it was difficult for me to trust that I was hearing as accurate. Excuse me. Inoue led me to a room and opened the door. I stepped inside and found myself surrounded by the leaders of the Shinsengumi. Their eyes dug into me like sharp knives. I stared before me and then gulped nervously. Okita! There he is! That's who I went to romance first. Look at him. I remember him. I barely remember his route, but I remember his character perfectly. Well, it wasn't particularly comfortable. Duh, I was bound up. No matter what you did, what? Huh? Yes, a tease. I like that in a man. And him being stupid also. Quiet silence. I stared at Okita. With his grin still spread along his face, he glanced over to Saito. I don't think Saito did anything wrong. You, on the other hand... All I can hear is my man from Seven Scarlet. Hijikata's voice broke no further in subordination. Okita shrugged. Jesus, I can't read properly. Okita shrugged and fell silent, but the smile lingered through his bright eyes. Ah, here is the other guys. The man who spoke was... well, he looked more like a boy than a man. Maybe this is the youth Shinsengumi captain that Inoue was describing to me. I'd imagined the leaders of the Shinsengumi to be older, maybe even middle-aged men, but... their faces were still blessed with youth. In fact, what might even confuse them at first glance for a gang of bohemian thugs. Yusa Koji? Two nearby men replied to Toto, and with very mocking but light-hearted tones. I somewhat recalled Inoue's description of the two energetic members. His mention of them was brief, but seeing them in person was an eye-opening experience. He said the shorter-haired one was Nagakura, and the other with longer hair was Harada.
ざけんなよこのお坊ちゃまが。俺らにそんな口聞いていいと思ってんのか？
平助におじさん呼ばわりされるほど年は食ってねえよ。シンパチはともかく俺はな。
てめえ裏切るのか佐野。
へへ、シンパッツァン図星されて怒るって大人げねえよな。
Their back and forth rapport seemed developed into a rhythm from years of friendship, which predated my arrival and made me foreign here. It's kind of like when you join a new friend group, like someone invites you and everyone has their own little inside jokes and they keep on talking and having fun. And you're just sitting off to the side looking kind of awkward, like, I'm here, but it doesn't really feel like I'm part of the group. I'm just like an intruder. Despite their cheerful levity, they had not forgiven my presence among them. Suddenly, I wanted very much to go home. I wanted to leave this place and never return. My chest tightened and I stared down, hoping to wake up in bed with all of this only a memory. Oh. His voice was calm and warm, and I felt myself relax, even if only a little bit. Honestly, it kind of looks like it. As he finished speaking, the rest of the men nodded solemnly in agreement. I wonder, who could possibly command such fear and respect from these men? And the men called Sanan and Hijikata stared at one another with a smirk. Hijikata and Sanan sounded distant when they spoke to one another. Not exactly friendly. Still, the man who spoke had certainly sounded as though he thought they were friends. When you say chief, do you mean to say you are the most important man in the Shinsengumi? Ah, okay. Naruhodo. Oh, if only I knew what Colonel actually was represented. I mean, I'm an outsider. You're telling me all this information about your organization. It is kind of bad. Harada glanced over at Kondo and let out a bark of laughter. Yeah, I'm kinda stuck here. Kondo had looked rather disappointed when Hijikata spoke, but he perked up at Harada's words. Despite knowing him for 5 minutes, it's easy to say that his words resonated well with these men. He had a sort of charisma that simply drew you in, a man who was impossible to hate. As he finished, Saito turned to look at me. I didn't see anything. Even with my assistance, Hijikata continued to stare at me with a harsh glance. Saito remained expressionless, and the smile on Okita's face didn't change.
なあ、お前本当に何も見てないのか？
Yes, I didn't see anything.
見てないんならいいんだけどさ。
あれ掃除の話じゃ、お前が大使どもを助けてくれたって話だったが。
No, that's not true at all. Bruh, what? We were hiding. We were hiding and those guys got killed by the Shinsengumi guys. I glanced over at Okita, but his smile remained. Whatever he was thinking was a mystery to me. I was running away from the Ronin. Then some people with the Shinsengumi uniforms appeared. Really, they sort of rescued me.
つまり、大使どもが老子を切り殺してる場面はしっかり見たってわけだ。
I couldn't exactly deny that. However, I knew that choosing to stay silent would implicate me deeper than lying would.
つまり最初から最後まで一部始終を見てたってことか。
Say something!
お前根が素直なんだろうな。それ自体は悪いことじゃないんだろうが。
I wasn't sure what to make of Harada's words. My presence seemed bad for the Shinsengumi. Would their next words be ones condemning me to death for being at the wrong place and time? My voice shook, but I knew I had to try. I won't tell anyone, I promise.
偶然老子に絡まれていたという君が私たちに敵対するもの
I am not an enemy, I am not an enemy, please do not murk me.
君に言うつもりがなくても相手の誘導尋問に乗せられる可能性はある
Crying. His voice was still warm, but his words were cold, and I began to feel my chances at life slip away.
話さないというのも簡単だがこの者が新選組にピリ立てする理由もない。
約束を破らない保証なんてないですし、やっぱり解放するのは難しいですよね。ほら、殺しちゃいましょうよ。口封じ。
Jesus, Okita!
それが一番じゃないですか。
Bruh, I love a man who wants to kill me, but Jesus Christ. But...
掃除物騒なことを言うな。お上の民をむやみに殺して何とする。
そんな顔しないでくださいよ。今のはただの冗談ですから。
Not sure if I like those jokes or not, but you're hot, and you have a good voice, so you get a pass.
あんたは冗談に聞こえる冗談を言え。
After being rebuked by Saito, Okita gave a playful smile.
しかし、なんとかならんのかね。まだこんな子供だろう。
私も何とかしてあげたいとは思いますが、うっかり漏らされでもしたら一大事です。さて、私は副長のご意見を。
Oh, Hijikata, please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. The men looked to Hijikata. Listening intently, he sighed and glanced around the room. Do not say kill. Do not say kuros. No.
俺たちは昨晩、指導に背いた大使を粛清した。こいつは
Ah, thank you for the follow, King Mimir69. Welcome to the SSStaries. We look cute fighting villains and we make bad financial decisions. I hope you enjoy your time here.
それだけだとおっしゃりたいのですか。
実際このガキの認識なんざその程度のもんだとは思うんだが。
けどよ、こればっかりは大義のためにも内密にしなきゃなんねえことだよな。新選組の大使は血に狂ってるなんて噂が立ちゃ、俺らのタイムにだって支障が出るぜ。
Shinpachi's words made sense to everyone. Hijikata's face looked grim.
おい、言葉を慎め。俺は指導に背いた大使を粛清したと言ったはずだぞ。
でもまあ、どっちみち見たことは変わらないんですけどね。
I mean, doesn't mean you gotta take me out. Did the game pause? Oh, it's good. Okay.
当時の意見にも一理あると思うが、俺は土方さんや近藤さんの決定にした。
俺は逃がしてやってもいいと思う。 こいつは別にあいつらが血に狂った理由を知っちまったわけでもないんだしさ。
Bro, if this was actually me in this situation, I would have had the biggest heart attack and just would have keeled over and died on the spot. Problem taken care of. What do you mean, everything? I couldn't help but wonder out loud, and the mood in the room shifted to an icy silence. Oh, please be quiet.
平介、余計な情報をくれてやるな。
悪い。ああ、これでますます君の無罪放免が難しくなっちゃったね。
Ah, please, let me go.
何したらもの死ぬ覚悟くらいできてんだろ。お前も諦めて腹くくつ
Oh,
もりな。
but I'm not a guy, I am a girl. A man? Oh, that's right. They still believed me to be a boy. With everything else that had happened, I'd completely forgotten how I was dressed.
確かに潔く死ぬのも男の道だな。俺も若い頃は
サノの場合、まだ生きてるけどな。
Their jokes were barbaric, but they both broke into raucous laughter.
副長、結論も出ないことですし、一旦このものを部屋に戻してはどうでしょうか。同席させた状態で誰かが機密を漏らせば、処分も何も殺すほかなくなります。
He was right. If I remained with them, then I could easily hear something I wasn't supposed to. I didn't think he mentioned it for my sake, but rather as a possible concern for their group. I was still relieved when he brought it up.
そういうことにするか。ちょっと調べたいこともあるし。
Can you please tell him a girl first?
私もその判断には賛成しますよ。ここには迂闊な方も多いですしね。
三男さん、わざわざこっちに言うとか。
Hold on. Let me... I actually want to... What's the menu? I want to go to the menu and possibly make the... I think I did this before, but I can't remember. Sound settings. Make the voices max and BGM. Put the BGM down a bit and effects down a bit. There we go. Oh, they're separate? Oh, they're all good. Okay, so back in default and save. Just for me, so I can hear it better. Alright, there we go.
まあ仕方ねえよ。迂闊なのは
There
俺
we
の
go.
本当だろう。主に平介とかな。
そんな責めるなよ。俺だって悪気はなかったんだからさ。
I could hear Toto's voice rise as everyone turned to look at him. He looked at them for a bit, then turned to me and mumbled in a voice I could barely hear.
あのさ、悪かったな。
Hmm? I was still apprehensive about what they might do to me, so I couldn't quite respond to him well. But he seemed to understand, and I clearly managed to nod. It was the most I could manage.
それじゃ斉藤、こいつを頼む。
承知しました。行くぞ。
Alright. Warrior record has been unlocked. Okay. I wonder what warrior record is. After returning to my room, I spent some time reflecting upon my state and my still bound hands. The rumor spoke of the Shinsengumi as vicious men, but they seemed more intimate, human to me. Still, their presence or their being lingered through me as if to say, we are not killers, but to protect our code, we must bring death. Remaining here is only bringing me closer to the possibility of them killing me. I don't know if I convinced them to spare me. Just as I have no loyalty to them, they have no loyalty to me, only the Shinsengumi. But then, they mention a man must always be ready to face death. So, are they still mistaking me for a man? Could I possibly risk exposing my true identity in exchange for mercy on my life? It's a possibility, but it's also a gamble. But this could just easily backfire for me, and it could exact an even worse fate. I was truly at loss for what to do. Okay, so here we go. First choice, find a way to escape. So let me actually save here, and this will be our first choice into the routes. So let me, where is it? Window, menu is I, there you go. And then we'll save, and we'll save at 2. Yes. All right, and 2, let me write this down so we have everything. Where is it? All right, so file 02. This is the first choice in chapter 1. So I have that. So when we start the other guy's routes, we can immediately switch over to them. All right, so that's what file 2 is. All right, so for Okita, find a way to escape. That doesn't seem viable, but okay. There was nothing for it. I had to try and escape. Meaning I needed to get moving immediately. Staying in this room did nothing to help me. Fortunately, they hadn't bothered to tie me up again. Only my hands were bound. That would slow me down, certainly, but so long as I could move my legs, I stood a chance. So, hypothetically, if we were able to escape and switch back into our actual female appearance, we could possibly get away with it, but we might have a certain, we might look similar to our male disguise, so that could give it away. But there is a chance that we could get away, but I don't trust myself either anyway, so I'd rather just sit there and be like, just don't kill me. Alright, now the exit is... I cast my memory back to when they brought me into the building that night before. Right, I'm sure it would work out. Oh my god, please don't escape. Please don't escape. I chose the option, but now I'm kind of scared. I know we're gonna survive this, but... Holding my breath, I edged toward the door. I knew it was rude, but I had no choice but to try and open the sliding door with my toe. But... I was almost there when suddenly it flew open all on its own, revealing...
No!
What? I stumbled straight into Kondo.
ずいぶん大胆なこ
No!
とですね。まさか逃げるつもりだったんですか?
No, no. Oh, Sanan, sir. I wasn't trying to escape, I promise. I kind of like how the chills that these guys kind of give, especially Sanan. He has that certain feel. Like, when you first look at him, it looks like he's trying to be all nice and kind of chill and calm. But you can kind of tell, if you, I guess, seen anime and watched lots of stuff like this, that there's something dark and deep within him that he doesn't really show, but it's just this aura around him, basically. Like, you can't really trust him. But sir, I was not trying to escape, I promise. Bro, we choose the wrong time to escape too.
勝手に動いては困りますね。君の身が余計に危うくなるだけです。
Bro, you don't think I know that? His voice was calm and not unfriendly, but his eyes were frigid and calculating. Too late. I realized why they hadn't bothered to tie me up again. They've been watching me! They were watching the whole time. God damn it. See, I would not have escaped for real, I would have been too scared. I'll be sitting in the corner crying my eyes out.
逃げれば切る。ゆうべ、俺は確かにそう言った。
残念だけど殺しちゃうしかないかな。約束を破るこの言葉なんて信用できないからね。
Bro, all of them were supposed to squat up outside the room? Okita smiled. He didn't look very sorry. Alright, so next option, stay where I was. You won't give me a chance to explain myself? I was innocent, but complaining wasn't going to help me. Perhaps it would be best if I simply accepted my death. Then you may do whatever you like with me. Okita roared with laughter, his shoulders shaking. The anger in my voice proved unaffecting to them. There we go, affection up for this man. Look at that.
君、面白いね。でも、ちょっといじめすぎちゃったかな。もう少し肩の力抜いてよ。
How am I supposed to know that?
しないからさ。
What do you want? You're just talking about killing me. Oh, they knew? They knew? Huh? A girl? You knew I was a girl?
少女はこの少年が女子だというのか。
近藤さん、落ち着いてくれ。気づいてるやつは気づいてたみたいだが。
They all do! Get out of here! Bruh, be thinking it would have been a cool wild card to say, hey, I'm actually a girl. But these dummies knew.
もしかして三男君も気づいていたのか。
Y'all, can y'all let me go? Damn. Was it that obvious? Oh my god, bro, honestly, you know how they have all that step sibling porn and all that stuff? Usually I'm like, I don't really get it, but then when an anime guy tells me to call him Onisan, and you get that little feeling in your gut, I'm just like, I kinda get it. I kinda get it. Huh? Sanan shrugged and let out a loud sigh. There I was, surrounded once again by the leaders of the Shinsengumi.
少年にしては華奢で可愛らしい顔をしていると思っていたんだが、まさか本当に女子だったとはな。
Kondo was nodding his head repeatedly, as if he were agreeing with the very intelligent suggestion. For him to notice the softness of my features, it flattered me a bit. Well, thanks, I guess.
しかし、女の子を一晩縄で縛っておくとは悪いことをしたね。
でもよ、女だって言うが別に証拠はないんだろ。
Bro, you want me to show my tits and vagina? Proof?
証拠も何も一目瞭然だろうが。なんなら脱がせてみる。
Can we not? Can we not?
許さんぞ。衆目の中。
Bruh, I'm starting to like Kondo a lot.
だがまあ、それが一番手っ取り早いと思ったんだ。無理にとは言わないがな。
でもよ、本当に女だって言うなら殺しちまうのも忍びねえよな。
何甘いこと言ってるんだ。男だろうが女だろうが、性別の違いは生かす理由にならねえだろう。
もっともです。ですが。女性に限らず、そもそも人を殺すのは忍びないことですよ。今日の治安を守るために組織された私たちが無益な殺生をするわけにはいきません。
結局、女の子だろうが男の子だろうが、今日の平安を乱しかねないなら話は別ですよね。
The Shinsengumi had already suffered a very gruesome reputation in Kyoto. If rumors spread that their men were thirsty for blood, things weren't likely to go well for them. So there! Welcome! Thanks for stopping by! I hope your day is going well. We're playing Kyoto. Hakuoki Kyoto wins. It has been years since I played this, so I completely forgot everything, but I'm having a blast reliving everything. Alright. Kyoto would banish them, and with no one to protect the people, the city would erupt in chaos. I've never played this, but it's on my wish list. Who are we romancing? We're romancing Okita! Okita is voiced by Morikubo Showtaro, same voice actor as Towa in Seven Scarlet, Shikamaru in Naruto, I have more, hold on. And, there's one. Reiji from Utapri. Yeah, he has that very distinct voice, so we're gonna romance Okita first. This is only chapter 1, so we're very early on in the game. Each of their members deeply understood the consequences of behaving rashly in these times.
悪いが、お前の荷物を改めさせてもらったぜ。どうやら江戸からここまで一人で来たみてえだな。荷物はわずかな着替えと一月分の小銭、それと数通の手紙とこの小立ち。手紙には 幕府御殿医の松本良順の名前があった。おそらくそこを訪ねたんだろう。お前の目的は何だ？
Bro, she's literally just trying to find her father. The minute my name was spoken, the vibe in the room shifted immensely. Everyone wore a stunned expression, eyes wide, and no words were uttered in response until...
土方さん、その名前は？
おいおい、偶然にしちゃできすぎだぜ。
まあ待て。それを判断するためにも、まずは君の。
Bro, what did our dad do? At Kondo's behest, I stood up to speak. My name is Lade Yukimura. Under the watchful eyes of the leaders, I sharply described how I came to face them. How I lived in Edo. How I had come to Kyoto to find my father. How lonely the city felt before I arrived.
そうか。出身も江戸だったのだな。父上を探して遠路はるばる京に来たのか。して、お父上は何という方かね。
My father is Kodo Yukimura.
つながったな。
What are you talking about?
あなたが持っていた手紙の筆跡。これはまさに高堂さんのものでしたが。
They know our dad?
まさか本当に高堂さんのご息女とはね。
You know my father? The silence was enough to tell me that the revelation of my parentage caused a pronounced change in their behavior.
どこまで知ってる？
Huh? What information are you talking about?
いいから洗いざらい全部吐け！何しに京に来やがった？
Sir, I am looking for my father. I just came to look for my father. I swear I don't know anything else.
親父の高堂さんが何をしてるか知っててここに来たんだろうが。
I was only aware of my father being in Kyoto for his medical work, but I haven't seen him since last summer. That's all I know.
土方君、どうやら本当に何も知ら
Sir,
ないのかも
I just want to find my damn dad. What did he do? So, what do you know about my father? Where is he right now? Please tell me.
高堂さんの行方は現在新選組でも探している。
You're after my father? So, this means...
あ、勘違いしないでね。僕たちは高堂さんを狙ってるわけじゃないから。
I see. A huge wave of relief came over me.
同じ幕府側の協力者なんだけど、実は彼、夏から行方知れずなんだよね。
幕府をよく思わない者たちが高堂さんに目をつけた可能性が高い。
Huh? I let out an audible gasp, but Saito continued without paying me any mind.
生きている公算も高い。乱方医は利用価値がある存在だ。
I wasn't sure what else to do, so I nodded. My heart pounded in my chest, threatening to burst onto the floor.
近藤さん、どうでしょうか。同じ人物を探す者同士。
Please help me.
彼女に
Don't throw me out onto the streets.
手を貸すとはどういうことかね。
高堂さんが見つかるまで互いに協力し合うということです。彼女に協力してもらうことで高堂さんが見つかる可能性は格段に上昇するでしょう。
Huh?
私たちがいくら探しても姿形を変えられてしまっては見抜くことは難しい。ですが高堂さんの娘である君ならば身なりが変わっていようと看破できますね。
Yes, of course. I nodded as I spoke, while giving him what I hoped seemed like a steady, reassuring smile.
それに彼女が手中にあるというのは何かと都合がいいと思います。
どうだトシ。三男君の意見に俺は賛成だな。
こいつが本当に何も知らねえって言うんなら。
Bro, I'm legit just trying to find my damn dad. It's true. All I know is that my father headed to Kyoto, but I don't know anything else. And about last night, I really didn't see anything.
ま あの乱暴医の娘となりゃ殺しちまうわけにもいかねえか。
His eyes narrowed as he looked down at me.
夕べの件は忘れるって言うんなら、父親が見つかるまでお前を保護してやる。
君の父上を見つけるためならば、我ら新選組は協力は惜しまんとも。
Thank you so much. I never imagined something like this. I was elated to have escaped death, but not only had I survived, but I had found my first decent lead.
殺されずに済んでよかったね。とりあえずはだけど。
Bro, okay, so the way he said they're teasing us, like, we may just kill you, not now, but maybe later. We'll just see how we feel. He gave me the same wolfish grin, but that's why I love this man. There was no denying that my situation was still less than desirable, but it didn't matter for now. Yes, I'm very glad. Against all odds, at last, I found help where I never had expected it. The Shinsengumi. My first day in Kyoto was quite the adventure. In spite of everything I'd seen, my fortune was improving with every step. I still had a long way to go, but keeping positive was my only hope.
雪村君、よかったね。これからはよろしく頼むよ。
Yes, thank you. It's a pleasure for me as well.
なあ、源さん。女子となれば、ここのような男女体では申し訳ない気がするんだが。
ええ、そうですね。これはちょっと困りましたな。
Kondo crossed his arms and thought deeply.
不便があれば言うといい。その都度可能な範囲で対処しよう。
Oh, that's sort of Yui Kosuke voice. His voice is always nice and smooth, has that nice little lightness to it. Thank you?
まあ、女の子となりゃ手厚くもてなさんといかんよな。
Yes, it is required.
新発さん、女の子に弱いもんな。でもだからって手のひら返すの早すぎ。
いいじゃねえか。これで豚書が華やかになると思えば、新八に限らずはしゃぎたくもなるだろう。
I wasn't entirely sure I believed that sentiment.
とはいえ、ここでは女性として扱うのは難しそうです。大使として扱うのもまた問題ですし、彼女の処遇は少し考えなければなりませんね。
I like that red hair having his man titties out, very respectable. Yes, we like a man with his tits out.
なら誰かの交渉にすりゃいいだろう。近藤さんとか三男さんとか。
Bro, this man really said, you guys need an assistant? Take her.
やだな、土方さん。そういう時は言い出しっぺが責任取らなくちゃ。
Yeah.
ああ、そうだな。都市のそばなら安心だ。
I'm so sorry, Hijikata.
そういうことで土方君。彼女の
RIP.
よろしくお願いしますね。
I am so sorry, man. I guess as the leader, it's your responsibility to take care of me now.
てめえら、勝手に決めてるんじゃねえ。
I mean, they kind of just did right RIP to this man. They really said, hey, you're the leader. Go ahead and take care of us. Yeah, he's our babysitter. It doesn't even look like he's happy about it, but oh well. He has to get used to it. As I watched their back and forth, some of my early relief began to ebb away. And this is how the Shinsengumi had come to look after me. Bro, just imagine that. We're like, the leader's all scary and now he has to take care of us. I think it should be fine. He's just kind of one of those cold people. Alright, so now it is February. We're still on chapter 1, I believe. Maybe about fourth the way through? Mid-February 1864. I slid the door open and met a breath of cool morning air. Clumps of thick clouds trundled silently over the city, an unusually strong wind driving them along. It's cold today. I shivered a bit and grabbed a jacket from near the door to wrap around myself. A week had passed since I began living in the headquarters of the Shinsengumi. Another out he goes, haha, remember when I hated your guts for having me on babysitter duty? Good times. Oh my god, I cannot wait to do this man's route. And we just tease him. Bro, I used to hate our guts when you had to babysit us, but now look at you. We're waifu and husband though. I was given a room of my own, but they made it clear that I wasn't to roam freely. They weren't the best accommodations, but given how close I was to being murdered by them, instead, I thought it was best not to complain. Yeah, I wouldn't complain either. Still, do I really need to be dressed like this all the time? I sighed, staring at my feet on the cold floor. They'd given me temporary accommodations, but it wasn't without its strict conditions. So I still gotta dress up as a guy. Okay. Oh, bro, just imagine if the rumors of the vicious gang, the Shinsengumi, has a woman trapped in their headquarters. That would not be a good reputation for them. Bro, they would say anything and everything about this situation if word ever got out. Wakarimasu. Clear, very clear. His reasoning was sound. Perhaps more than that, I knew he was concerned not only for the Shinsengumi, but also for the safety of my father and myself. I didn't have a choice regardless, but keeping this in mind made his orders more palatable. Like you're incognito? Yeah, so MC did dress up as a boy when she traveled from Edo to Kyoto to look for her father. Because having just a girl by herself with no protection traveling, especially in the city of Kyoto, is very, very dangerous. So we had to dress up as a boy. And we still had to continue for our safety, basically. I forgot, it's not just them and the Shinsengumi. They have lower people, like soldiers, also in the group. So only they know we're a girl, but everyone else outside, like I guess non-romanceable people, do not know that we aren't a girl. That we aren't a boy, that we are a girl. Yes, I understand. I understand the situation. So, what should I do while I'm here? You don't got any games? Just stay in your room. They don't need to know because they won't be going for your non-existent PP. Oh my gosh, just imagine. Oh my god, no. But sir, Hijikata, are there any games? You got games on your phone? You can't just expect me just to stay in my room all day, every day until we find my father. And who knows how long that will take. Give me some tasks. Can I clean? Can I cook? Something. Ali, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. I hope your day is well. Before long, I've been there for a week. I guess I don't have much of a choice. No sense in dwelling on what I can't do after all. I can't stay too long, but want to drop by and Hakuoki with you for a bit. That's totally fine. I'm glad you stopped by. We're still only on chapter 1, but we're going after Okita. Okita's my #1 man, and I have to replay his route. Although it was still a new sensation, I'd grown comfortable in dressing like a boy, particularly the feeling of wearing pants. I straightened up and touched the kodachi that Hijikata had given back to me. This was a familiar friend of mine, the blade by my hip stretching back to as far as I can recall. According to my father, this is an important family heirloom passed down through the generations of the Yukimura clan. As such, I was forced to take lessons in swordplay, making me well aware of what the blade was capable of. I had never cared much for weapons. I look at the sword and think of sword husband does. Technically, so yeah. So you know, some of the guys here, like Okita and Hijikata, their swords that they actually have on their hips are actually in Token Rambu. Okita's swords are Kashu Kiyomitsu and Yasusada. So they are in Token Rambu. Hijikata's swords, I think, were Kanesada and can't remember his name. But yeah, some of them, yeah. So a lot of them are technically in here. So Token Rambu does technically appear in other animes, but not in what way people think. So they are in here. Yeah, actually, all of them are. Every single sword in Token Rambu is real and has been real in Japanese history. And a lot of them actually are in Japanese history museums, and they actually do showings of them. And because of Token Rambu, the actual swords got a lot of popularity and everything, especially some of the shrines that house the swords. Like Surumaru, the shrine in the area that where his sword was housed, a lot of fans did come to start donating money to help upkeep the shrine and stuff like that. And they actually have like a little area where lots of people like have art of Surumaru and like a little anime merch that they put there as a shrine to him. Yeah, so Token Rambu honestly has really helped a lot with Japanese history with the swords. Because a lot of people do donate money to museums now just because of Token Rambu. The power of anime. Yes, the power of anime. Weapons hurt people, which is an obvious factor. But it was more than that, at least for me. For as far back as I can remember, any wounds I suffered healed at an incredible rate. Small cuts would disappear overnight. Ma'am, that is not normal. Usually a cut would take a few days to heal, but having it heal overnight. As a child, I thought nothing of it. But as I grew older, I began to realize that was not quite normal. Obviously. My father insisted it was a gift of the gods, but that I should tell no one of it. I didn't tell anyone, of course. I was afraid they would treat me like a monster if they knew. Very suspicious. Are you a non-human, huh? Maybe something her father did, because her father does work in medicine and is a doctor. So it's one of those things where they kind of have sort of supernatural with science. What science can't really do in real life, but what it can do in animes. And I feel like now that I've learned this, that there will be a scene where we get injured very badly, but we somehow heal perfectly overnight. And then the Shinsengumi is like, the fuck just happened? Are you human or not? And then we have this whole thing about it. Sorry, too fast. I gotta go, but I'll be here lurking. That's totally fine. Thank you for lurking, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Ever since then, I did my best not to get hurt. I stayed as far away from blades as I could, and before I realized it, I developed a fear of them. Have a good rest of your stream. Enjoy your husband does. I totally will. My constant need for disguise was frustrating, but my condition left me more unsettled. Still, that wasn't the only thing on my mind. The rank and file soldiers treated me coldly. I'm not just imagining it, right? I learned having a private room was a privilege, even for captains. For a child to arrive and receive better treatment than their own captains? Ooh, I see. So in the soldier's perspective, just some random kid the Shinsengumi top leaders brought in now has their own private room. So yeah, I can see why they're kind of cold and kind of thinking, how is this child so special? No surprise, really, for the soldiers to hate me. True, I suppose I can't really blame them. I was enjoying the Shinsengumi's hospitality, and so I felt I should have helped them in some way, but I knew nothing of soldiers and their ways. I gave as much effort as possible, despite Hijikata's commands for me to remain in my room. How does one calm the lonely, restless mind? I think for the soldiers, whenever the captains or other officers would look out for me, it appeared as if they were giving me special treatment. They're just watching me. To make sure I kept my mouth shut, they kept turns keeping watch over me. Any mistake on my part would cause huge trouble, so they're making an effort to keep me contained. Even if I could speak with the soldiers, what conversation could we share? Nothing. My only respite for any responsibility of detection would be to stay alone again. All I wanted from this, though, was to find my father. Even though they promised to help me, keeping me locked here without the ability to leave was no better than being tied up. Just when it felt like I had made some progress into my journey, my search was kept to a halt. Perhaps I thought I could talk to Hijikata, if he would give me permission to look for my father. Oh no, that's right. Hijikata just recently departed to Osaka. Well, if Hijikata's not here, I wasn't sure what to do. Alright, and so chapter 1, talk to someone. Perhaps there would be someone in the inner courtyard to whom I could speak, I thought. I didn't want to be spotted by the soldiers, so I hid for a moment and scanned the area. Oh, good. Things were looking up. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. Saito's a bit cold, honestly. We really gotta warm up to him, but we're not in his route, so he might just be cold with us the whole way, but we're romancing this one right here. Okita, look at him. The only people in the courtyard were Okita and Saito. Good morning, Okita. Good morning, Saito. They showed no sign of surprise to my approach and turned lazily to greet me. It's okay, we'll get them next time. Yes, we'll get him next time and then he'll warm up to us. How did you guess? Oh, his swords, hold on. So the red should be Kashu? And this one should be, Yasusada, I believe? Saito Hajime. Actually, let me see, hold on. Now I'm really curious. Is any of Saito Hajime's swords actually in Token Rambu? Saito. I only know a few swords and who they belong to. Saito Hajime. Sir, what swords did you have? So I can know. His sword, Kijini Maru Kunishida. Was he added in Token Rambu? Hold on. Kiji... is that him? Tenka Hayake, no. I don't think his sword was actually added in Token Rambu yet. Most kings of which was been believed to be... Okay. So that is... Kinishida... Okay, yeah, so that sword has not actually been added to Token Rambu yet. That'll be very interesting, so we can have more Shinsengumi swords. Hold on. Let me look up. Kijin Maru, so... Token Rambu... Kijin Maru. Has he really not been added to Token Rambu yet? Oh my god, he has not! Hold on, I spelled that wrong. Kijin Maru. Yep, he has not been added to Token Rambu yet. Okay, so maybe we can see that for the future. Well, I didn't want to impose or complain, but they had asked. I was hoping I could go look for my father soon. He hadn't exactly left me any room for argument. Is there really nothing you can do? It's not like I wanted to go very far. Just walking around the city is enough. Your rounds? I must have worn a confused expression because Okita's eyes narrowed and he proceeded to warn me. Oh. That sounds very, very reassuring, Okita. Staying inside honestly seems better and better by the situation, but I feel like He's just being real. He is being very real about the situation, but sir, I didn't need to know that information. Well, I do know a little of swordsmanship. I should be able to protect myself just a little. Bruh, me, I'll be like, this kind of sounds like a bad idea. Maybe I'll just stay back and wait until Hijikata comes back from Osaka. A little, so basically nothing, right? We're basically children compared to everyone else. We only knew basic stuff because our father taught us. So that's really it. So enough to maybe protect ourselves from like a drunk person. Internally though, I was frightened by the rounds right here, right here. Yes, internally. Maybe outside I don't look scared, but inside I am shaking, I am crying, I am throwing up, everything. The last thing I wanted to see was another person die. I had seen enough of that to last a lifetime. Even if we go on the patrol, nothing might not happen, but there is just a small percentage of a chance something bad will happen, and that's enough to scare me to stay inside. I had to remind myself that fear couldn't rule me. I love that, right? Crying, shaking, throwing up, shooting everything. Everything in the sun. No matter what, I had to find my father. Kyoto may be a dangerous place, but being paralyzed by fear would prevent me from ever finding him. Bruh, respect to Chizuru for being able to kind of bottle up that fear a bit and keep on going, because I would have been like, I'll just stay and play with some sticks while you guys go on patrol. Oh, I didn't mean to save. No. Did I press a button? No saving. I didn't mean to do that. Oh, no. Oh, Saito, that is not needed. Never mind, dude. I'll stay home. I'll stay home. We don't need to fight. Oh my god, Saito, please no. Bruh, Saito, I don't trust you. Bruh, my man's about to sit there and have his sword right at my throat and be like, I'll stay home. I'll stay home. Huh? You know what? I'll be the type to sit there have the sword right above my head and yelling while I strike down like an idiot, and someone could have easily would have swiped my stomach right open. Oh, Saito. This is not necessary. I promise you, sweetie. But please, no. No, of course not. I have taken lessons. I'm not lying. What kind of lessons were they, though? It was just basics. And look at Okita's shit-eating grin. The look on Okita's face with his eyebrow kind of quirked up. I hate it, but I love it at the same time. It's like he's testing me. I swear to God, Okita, wipe that. I'm covering Okita with my hand. You cannot see it, but his damn shit-eating grin is killing me on the inside. Like he's saying, I know you can't do shit, but I like to see you try, just to laugh at your misery and failure. But I can't attack you. No, do you see the look on his face? Do you see this look on his face? I hate it. I hate it. You know the meme where it has the lady screaming, yelling? And then the cat just has like, and someone has the knife at the cat. That's what it is. Someone pointing a knife at this man's face. That's him right there. Bro, if my hand were to slip and I cut or stab you, not only would you be injured, but you could die. So MC, Chizuru, do not worry about that. I doubt we could actually cause damage to this man, honestly. I don't even see it. I don't even see him. That's him. It's true. The look on their faces! They cannot believe I said I might end up injuring or killing you. They're like, girl, what is she talking about? Oh my god. I feel so embarrassed. I feel so freaking embarrassed right now. The way they're just laughing. Like, I can't believe she just said that. I'm so sorry, Saito. Excuse me? You don't have to laugh. Bro, my life. My life. No, not with Okita! I am dying of embarrassment. Of course, I hadn't thought I could beat one of the captains of the Shinsengumi, but still. There's still a chance of someone getting hurt. If it's to help someone or protect myself, I wouldn't think twice to draw my Kodachi. But right now? Alright, so, it's... Alright, so we'll do this one. It is to test. So, this is to test my skills, right? Affectionate.
どうやら物分かりはいいみたいだね。君がそれなりに刀の使える人間だって分かれば、
Bro, it's not even a guarantee. We may consider it.
刃に不安があるのなら、鞘を刀代わりに使うか、峰打ちで打ち込め。
At least he's humoring us. I looked down at my sword. Even with the scabbard or the back of the blade, a misplaced strike could break bones. However, this was the opportunity I waited for. I don't want to miss this chance. To be fair, it's the best way for them to know how good you are, so they know how much attention they gotta put on protecting you. So this is a smart move, but I honestly would have like, never mind, I'll just stay. But then I feel like they would look down on me, so my pride would actually be like, I'll try. I straightened up and looked straight into Saito's cold, calm eyes. Alright, let's go. Please no. Please no. I settled into a fighting position. I don't want to watch the scene, but I also want to watch it. Saito cocked his head slightly to one side and let out a small noise I took to be a laugh. Saito is laughing at me! The cold, calculated, calm guy is laughing at me. And looking at the stupid smile. Bye y'all, bye y'all. I'm so embarrassed. His stance stayed defensive. No sign of fear, despite the fact I was clearly ready to attack. I would not be afraid of us either, honestly. Don't say that, Solaire. I'm dying. They're really playing me for a fool. Did he intend to leave his sword unsheathed? If Saito somehow rips our own sword out of our hands when we attack him, I'm going to cry. I want to go back in my room. I stopped the thought as it entered my mind. His words were to be trusted. Why did we announce we were coming towards him? I don't want to watch this. I had my hand in front of the... You will cry while we like, ha. We did not make a yell as we lunged forward. What idiots are we? No. I hate this. I hate this so much. Actually running and yelling with our sword in our hand is giving away how immature we are. Who the hell does that unless it's an anime, right? She's invoking the power of God in anime, gathering up all that anime energy. I don't want to watch. I don't want to watch, but I have to go. I have to continue. Let the scene end. Let the scene end. Hold on. My hand is in front because I don't want to embarrass myself. The backside of my blade collided with the shoulder of the defenseless Saito. Or so I thought. Oh my gosh. Hold on. I need a sip of my smoothie. Give me a sec. Rip. I knew it! I knew it! I knew it! Bruh, I knew we weren't strong enough. I knew it was going to happen. And look how calm he is about it too. Like, well, it happens. Oh well. He tried, but it wasn't good enough. In the blink of an eye, his face was only inches from mine, and I could feel the cold steel of his blade. Oh no, he's hot. He's so hot when he tries to kill us. Just look at him with his blade up against our neck. Sir, I would romance him first. This would be it for me? This would be it for you? This was the skill of a Shinsengumi captain. Honestly, if I didn't like Okita so much, I would have romanced him too. Please, sir, don't hold that sword so close to my neck. You're so sexy. Oh no. My hands seem to be bound and I'm defenseless. Anyone can just come and just have fun. My body froze and sweat dripped down my neck.
死を誇れ。あんたの剣には曇りがない。
Hey, wait, he praised us. He praised us.
立ち筋には心が現れる。あんたは死に恵まれたのだろう。
MC looks super cute and she's very young. Yeah, MC is baby. We are baby. We're all by ourselves in this lonesome world. He turned without another word, sheathed his sword, and began to walk away. Does that mean I pass? I then noticed how wildly my heart was beating. What was that?
これいい子たちだね。ずいぶん年代物みたいだけど。
Huh? I looked over at Okita to see him holding my kodachi. Bruh, our sword was gone too. I looked down at my hand where I expected the sword to be. It was empty. Buy her a new one. Yeah, I mean, it would be pretty nice and you guys could teach me. I'm sorry. Thank you for picking up my sword. He nodded and tossed the sword toward me. Do not toss a sword. I reached for it, but there was almost no strength left in my hands, and I nearly dropped it. How weak are we? The blow of Saito's sword on my own hand left my hands numb. The strength seems almost inhuman. Ah, to be for real. He knocked our sword out of our hand with his own sword. Okay. She's probably shaking from that.
大丈夫？やっぱり驚いたかな。はじめくんの居合は達人級だからね。
Hold on. What's the terminology? I want to read terminologies, but I can't remember how. Oh well, we'll figure that out later. Yes, I'm supposed I'm okay. But what's iai? It felt like a bit of a fool to be asking this, but they seemed to think it was a perfectly legitimate question.
対等状態から抜き打ちの一撃を放つ技だ。抜刀直後の刃が上向いている。
They're teaching me! Look at that! Yes? You wear your katana just like my odachi then.
そうだ。昔の太刀は刃を下に向けて吊るしていたが、今の打ち刀は腰に刺す。
Right. There's different ways you can wear your blades. And his is actually blade up because of the way it's curves.
本来であれば、刀身が鞘から抜け切るまで待ち、
Ah!
返して相手に刃を向ける手間がかかる。
And he could have easily taken my head with that blade. Had we faced an actual battle, I would have been dead sooner than I could prepare myself. 100% true, we would have been on the floor, gone, passed out, deceased.
居合は片手で抜き打つことが多いから、結果的に威力が下がって実用性は低いなんて言われることもあるんだけどね。
That's not a problem Saito has. It seems like he could easily finish an opponent with a single blow.
もしはじめくんが本気だったら、君の子たちを弾いた後、即座に追撃してとどめを刺してたと思うよ。
Oh, that's good to know. The only reason I survived the encounter was because Saito had never intended to kill me. A thought that made me shiver. That's iai, then... And from a true master of the art, it left me speechless, trembling from its power. A feeling of horror began to creep and coil itself around my heart. The outside appearance of the Shinsengumi did not reflect their deadliness. It mesmerized me to witness men who could be gentle, yet killers. And that's what we love in a man. A man who is nice and gentle, who will cuddle with his lover, but who can also take down someone easily.
落ち込むことはない。あんたは外を連れ歩くのに不便を感じない腕だ。
Really? I looked from Saito to Okita. He gave me a smile and brought his hands together in a polite applause.
へえ、はじめくんのお墨付きか。これってかなりすごいことだよ。
I think Saito's warming up to us now. He might be warming up a bit to us now. He recognizes our showmanship and our skill and talent. Then that means you can take me with you?
外出禁止令を出した人が許可するなら、
No!
連れて行ってあげるんだけどね。
Bro, I still gotta ask Hijikata. God damn it, I wasted all of that. Oh, I mean, we approve of you, but you still gotta ask Hijikata out of everyone. Man. Right. I had a feeling he was going to say something similar, so I simply nodded in agreement.
副長が大阪出張から戻るまで今しばし待たせることになる。
Oh, damn it, how long is that gonna take him? Oh, you don't need to apologize, Saito. It's alright. Saito looked at me for a beat, then turned away. I thought perhaps he looked at me with pity?
巡察に同行できるよう俺たちからも副長に進言しておく。
He's gonna ask on my behalf?
だからもう少しだけおとなしくしててね。遊び相手くらいになら。
They're like, yes! They're like, we gotta ask your ward and then also our commander, so we gotta put a push pin in that and wait a bit. But look, they're offering to hang out with me at least. So there's something. Really? Okita smirked, and I couldn't tell if he was kidding or meant it. Yo, I don't know. Can we play like shogi? Was shogi? Shogi? Was shogi made by then? Hold on. When was shogi made? What games do they even have for kids? Shogi. Yeah, shogi the game. So when was shogi made? I need a history, please. History. When was shogi made? I don't know how to play shogi, but I might as well. Became popular Japanese ability in Heian 7. So it has been made for a while. Alright. I gotta lurk for a bit because I need to walk my doggy, but I'll be back. That's totally fine. Have fun walking your doggo. Give all the head pats for me. I turned to look up to the sky, watching the white clouds gently drift apart. Perhaps a shy omen. Oh, is that someone messaging me? Hold on. No, we're good. Yeah, that goes the way. At least I had made some progress in my search, I told myself, however a little. The wind had pushed the clouds off of Kyoto, and the brilliant blue they hidden sparkled above. Time stood still. Shadows drifted along my wall. How long am I going to do this? Solitude was proven detrimental to any glimmer of hope. My heart felt heavier with each moment. How lonely the wistful, forlorn mind can become. I've been swept up in a frightening world I didn't understand. It couldn't possibly control. I can't possibly figure out what's happening to Father if I'm stuck here. Only Hijikata can give me permission to leave, and he's gone. All I could do was wait. Limiting things I couldn't change wouldn't improve my situation, and would arguably make it worse. I knew I couldn't trust the men of the Shinsengumi completely. They were, after all, men who could take life in the blink of an eye. It would be just as easy for them to end my life. Well, at least they've all been nice to me. For now. They're nice men deep down, right? I mean, not that I know of. Maybe like in high school when I was younger. What are you doing here?
もしかして気づいてなかったとか？この時間帯は僕が君の監視役なんだけどな。
Did you hear everything I said?
なんか言ってたの？
He'd heard me. He had definitely heard me. I wanted to scream, but before I could open my mouth, Saito stepped out from behind the door. Wait, were you here the whole time too? Oh, thank goodness. I'm sorry for screaming like that. Huh? True, I didn't say anything, bad, but still. Well, I was just embarrassed to be caught talking to myself. As Saito watched me fidgeting and mumbling, his eyes pierced right through me. Yeah, you interrupted my monologue. Oh, no, nothing at all. Saito shrugged shortly before we caught the sound of the footsteps approaching us noisily. Heisuke shot through the door. The moment he saw us, however, his face fell. Sorry, Toto. I'll be there as soon as I can. He turned to leave, but he halted in his tracks. He pursed his small lips together before speaking. Oh, he wants us to call us by his first name? Scandalous. Are you sure? Alright, I'll do that then, Heisuke. Hello, sir, with your tits out.
おめえら遅えんだよ。この俺の腹の高鳴りをどうしてくれんだ。
新八さん、それってただ腹が鳴ってるだけだろ。困るよね、こういう単純な人。
お前らが来るまで食い始めるのを待っててやった。俺様の寛大な腹に感謝しやがれ。
新八、それ寛大な心だろ。それじゃ、いつものように自分の飯は自分で守れよ。
Every man for himself? Is this a free for all?
今日も相変わらずせこい夕飯だよな。というわけで、隣の晩ご飯突撃だい。
Who are you taking? Is it Heisuke's?
弱肉強食の時代、俺様がいただくぜ。
Oh my god, look at the pile of rice! So I know we're supposed to be disguised as a boy, but we honestly still look like a girl, or at least a feminine boy.
それは体の大きさだ。大きいやつにはそれなりに食う量が必要なんだよ。じ
ゃあ育ち盛りの俺はもっともっと食わないとね。
毎回こんなんですまないな。
It's kind of lively. I actually like it. I've gotten used to it, honestly. Oh, why aren't you taking anything? I'm just remembering. I totally forgot. Okita sure as hell does have an illness. What was it? I can't remember the name, but sure as hell Okita is sick with something that is an actual disease, because that's how he was in real. Hold on, Okita. So I can't believe I can't remember the name. I cannot remember the name. The way I look up Okita and Okita from Fate pops up. Was it tuberculosis? Tuberculosis. That's what it was. He has tuberculosis, and I think. A character from Bleach, Juichiro? Is it Jushiro? Jushiro Ukitake. He's also sick. He is also sick. Hold on. Sickness. Yeah, he has a sickness too, I think. Was it also? Okay, so they didn't really name what it is, but he had a lung disease. What does tuberculosis do now? Hold on. Tuberculosis. There you go. What does it do? Oh, that's a lot. Pains usually in the chest, can occur with breathing, chronic... Okay, yeah, okay. Well, that's a lot of information I don't really understand, but okay. We just know he's sick.
だがその飯はいただくぜ。
どうぞどうぞ。僕はお酒をちびちびしてればいいし。
んじゃ、俺も酒にするかな。
ただご飯とか気にしないで。お腹いっぱい食べるんだよ。
I know, I can't help but feel a little bad though.
気にしなくてもいいが、自分の飯は自分で守る。
I gotta protect what's fine. It's just food. Well, it's not just food, but I'm not gonna be fighting over some food. I'll just eat my little scraps and hope it's good enough. Alright. Always eating alone made the experience of dinner with these men both an exhilarating and a frightening evening for me. It was actually fun.
最初からそうやって笑ってろ。俺らもお前を悪いようにはしないさ。
Are you really not going to? Harada. His mouth curled up into an honest smile of his own. Had I really looked so down? Perhaps they were all trying to cheer me up. I wasn't quite sure how to feel. I was conflicted over whether or not to feel pity for myself or to appreciate the moment for what it was. The joy seemed to be winning out, however, and I caught myself smiling as Inoue entered the room.
ちょっといいかいみんな。
As usual, his voice was warm, but in his eyes was a level of solemnity I'd never seen before, at least during our brief acquaintances thus far. Something serious happened? The warmth of the room slowly evaporated.
大阪にいるトシさんから手紙が届いたんだが、三男さんが。
Sanan, who told you to get hurt? Huh?
何があったの？
ああ。二人が訪ねる大阪の呉服屋に。 老師たちが無理やり押し入ったらしい。駆けつけたトシさんと三男さんがなんとか老師たちを退けたらしいが、その時に
Oh shit. I don't think being stabbed back then was a very good injury. It's not a good injury to have now, but your chances of surviving back then are kind of low, right? Is he going to be all right?
相当の深手だと手紙に書いてあるけど、傷はひどい。
Oh my god. I thought they'd been like stabbed in the stomach or something.
剣を握るのは難しいみたいだが、命に別状はないそうだよ。
It would just be hard for him to fight. Also, that's a character arc he has to go through, isn't it? Thank goodness. I exhaled a brief sigh of relief, but the rest of the room was tense, still itching for answers.
数日中には豚書へたどり着くんじゃないかな。それじゃ、私はイサミさんと話があるから。
While it's good he's gonna survive it, he won't be able to wield his sword properly. And he kind of needs that while being in the Shinsengumi, so there's gonna be some complications with that, especially having him actually going out, like patrolling and stuff. He turned as he spoke. His last words delivered over his shoulder, and he was gone. It was Saito who soon broke the awkward silence.
腕の筋まで立たれているかもしれん。刀は片腕で容易に扱えるものではない。最悪三男さんは。
Ooh, that actually really has to hurt his pride and his, what was it, his self-worth, basically. Oh, at last I understood.
片腕で扱えば刀の威力は損なわれる。そしてつばぜり合いになれば確実に負ける。
薬でも何でも使ってもらうしかないですね。三男さんも納得してくれるんじゃないかな。
そうじ。めったなこと言うもんじゃねえ。幹部が羅刹になってどうするんだよ。
Huh? Wait, that didn't make any sense. What are the Furies?
ああ、羅刹ってのは
薬を飲んだら怪我も治っちまう。平介
Huh? This is something he wasn't supposed to say. Okay. Before I could move, Harada was on his feet and halfway across the room. I barely had time to gasp before he drove his fist into Heisuke. Heisuke, are you alright?
やりすぎだぞ佐野。悪かったな平介。先に口を滑らせたこっちも悪かった。
大丈夫か？悪かったな。
So it seems like it's something to help heal injuries. Is that something MC may have been given? Since how her wounds can heal pretty fast. After a moment, Harada curtly nodded to Heisuke in apology, the latter offering a quick, pained smile. His punch had enough force to knock a lesser man, but Heisuke seemed unfazed. It was never clear how different these men were.
今の話は君が聞いちゃいけないことにほんのちょっと首を突っ込んだところだ。これ以上のことは教えられねえんだ。気になるだろうけど。
I understand. I totally understand. I am not gonna say a single word.
それと、さっきの平介の話は忘れてくれ。
His voice was friendly, but his eyes gave his words a cold weight that made me feel uncomfortable.
羅刹っていうのはかわいそうな子たちのことだよ。
Okita's voice was flat, emotionless. A sudden chill of melancholy entered his eyes. I couldn't bring myself to say anything more. Thankfully, Nagakura broke the awkward silence.
お前さんは何も気にしなくていいんだって。だから、そんな顔するなよ。
I was only a guest in their house, not a warrior of the Shinsengumi. The truth of the Shinsengumi's secrets were no business of mine, something I'd known. There was a little value in the sentiment, however.
忘れろ。深く踏み込めば、あんたの生き死ににも関わりかねない。
I bit my lip and kept silent. The wall between us was almost tangible, almost far too large an obstacle for me to defeat easily. Dang. Well, we were having a nice little happy dinner scene and something happened and look at that. I finished my dinner in sad silence, excused myself, and returned to my room. I had a great deal to think about. Furies, huh? I wondered to myself if the Furies referred to the Rashka pictured in Buddhist texts. Though I wasn't well versed, I recalled reading a text about a man-eating demon god with that name. I have no idea where to start, from drinking the medicine to Captain becoming a Fury. Red, welcome! Yes, we are all here to shrimp. Welcome, welcome! We're playing Hakuoki Kyoto wins. We're first gonna romance Okita. I should have put Okita on my little overlay next to me, but it's totally fine. I was only going to get myself in trouble if I stuck my nose where it didn't belong. Seeing or hearing the wrong thing could kill me. Have we tased anyone yet? No, we have not. Not a single person has been tased yet. Not sure if we are going to tase anyone soon, but I guess we'll see. Everyone's been alright and kind of nice to me. I could have brought the taser out when there were threats of me being killed, but I was too scared. If I die, I'll have a harder time looking for my father. The Shinsengumi captains are keeping themselves hushed around me, especially about the Furies. Are they doing it to protect me? Even if I dug around, I'm sure nothing good would come of it. With that in mind, I did my best to clear my head of the evening's events and slipped into my futon. What's your opinion on Diabolic Lovers? Oh my gosh, I honestly really love Diabolic Lovers. They're my trashy vampires. I love them with all of my heart. My favorites are Ayato and then Azusa. Ayato, that's my man. Ayato is so stupid. I love him. Diabolic Lovers is so good, and I am praying it gets localized. Please, please localize Diabolic Lovers, because I will go incredibly crazy for it. Alasia. March 1864. It fast approached a month since I began living with the Shinsengumi headquarters. Hijikata and Sana finally returned to the compound from the trip to Osaka, but spirits were low. Sana's injuries had unforeseen consequences for everyone in the organization. Day-to-day operations became hectic for a little while. I forgot his name. Which one? Which one? There is Kanato, Ayato, Laito, Shu, Subaru, Reiji for the Sakamakis, and then for the Mukamis, it's Azusa, Kanato. I see why you called him Seal though, like Seal from Black Butler. It's like Seal from Black Butler. I totally understand. Kanato is such a wreck. I love him too. His wounds seemed quite dire, and they drained whatever goodness in his nature he'd hoped to keep. Sanan would spend days holed up in his room, protected by a barrier of impenetrable silence. If he were to leave his room, a rare occasion, he was often short-tempered and quickly retreated. Even though I, too, spent my days in the exile of my room, he seemed to take it much differently. Sana seemed trapped within a painful memory, each day bringing him close to a gloomy twilight. Diabolic Lovers is so edgy. Honestly, I hate the main character. Is that just me? It's honestly not just you. I'm not too fond of Yui, honestly. With her situation, she seems very meek as a character. I kind of wish they had maybe a more headstrong character for Diabolic Lovers as an MC. Someone who kind of really challenges the guys. But she's alright in my opinion, but I kind of wish her personality was a bit different. I softly pondered what service I could offer to the Shinsengumi if I were not allowed to search for my father. I'm sure Hijikata is overwhelmed with whatever business he's dealing with, but I need to visit him. I realized with the tension so high, that it's better to have Hijikata on my side rather than not. Oh, we're gonna ask him? I crept around the hall looking for Hijikata, but he was nowhere to be seen. Would it be impolite to visit his room directly? As I paced around the hall in contemplation, an unknown warrior appeared before me. I want more pizza. I wish I had pizza. Hello, sir! I'd been living in the Yagi residence for a month, but he was unfamiliar to me. My current dilemma compelled me to approach him. Excuse me, have you seen Hijikata? The man turned to respond, and my eyes widened to scan his enormous frame before he spoke. I know that voice. I know that voice. I want a lesbian version of Diabolic Lovers at me, and also she's purple hair got me acted up. Oh, I'm well. It's a long story. It sounds like the voice actor for Dio in JoJo. Hold on. Now I gotta check to make sure. I forgot my dude's name. JoJo. Dio. My anime list. And we will check Dio Brando and his voice actor. Not that one. Koyasu Takahito. Him. Him. Alright, so Koyasu with that nice deep voice. Who else? It has to be him. It has to be. Let me check. Arakata Under the Breeze, not that. Arslan Senki. Binan Koko. Bo. Him. Kitako, Data Life. Watson. Detective Conan. Fushigi Yugi. Shinsuke from Gintama. Hold on, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Okay, H. Okay. Is he not? I like how your wish list is almost the same as mine. Oh wait, which wish list? Like on Throne? Yeah, it's mostly anime stuff and then some stuff, other stuff. Takehito, Hito, Koyasu, Hakuoki. It is him. Okay, as I thought. As I thought. Yes, on Throne, it's mostly just anime stuff and some cute stuff and then some stream stuff, but yeah. And then I think I have some, like, reference art books, like, for muscles and body parts also. I'm Lada Yukimura.
ほう。副長が故障に取り立てたという見習い大使とは、お前のことか。
Yes? I wasn't aware they were telling people that I was an apprentice warrior at headquarters. However, my reputation was the last thing on my mind as I faced this man's pressuring gaze. I didn't appreciate the harsh scrutiny he'd seemed to impose, scanning me from head to toe. Who is this long-haired douche? Love him? We literally just met him like a minute or two ago, and he's already yelling at us. I'm back from doggy walking. I hope you enjoyed yourself, and I hope your doggy had some good walkies.
お前、局長や副長とはどんな関係だ?
Sir, I'm not sure I'm allowed to give that information out. They really told me to be careful around people.
同じ江戸の出身らしいが、どんな縁故を使って取り入った?
Oh yeah, same voice actor as Dio from JoJo Bizarre's Adventure, if that's what you're probably thinking. Because that's what he's really known for, with that nice, deep, sexy voice. Yes, yes, yes. I did no such thing.
そう向きになるところを見ると、ますます怪しいぞ。ここは、お前のような剣の腕も才覚もなさそうなものが、うろうろしていいところではないんだがな。
Sir, I am here for a specific reason, and I can't really tell others.
もう一度聞く。どうやってあの二人に取り入った?
Can someone save me?
この私、武田観柳斎が聞いているのだぞ。
Ah, here we go. We got a
なぜ
name.
答えない?
Kanryusai Takeda. He's so pretty though. Look at his hair. He grew increasingly agitated, almost like a petulant child, because I refused to answer him. He reached his massive hand over towards me, as if to grab me, but then a voice stopped him. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. When he recognized Hijikata's voice, he snapped his hand back to his side. Is that my cat? Which one is it? Hold on. Is that... It's the 50. Okay, he's leaving the room. Okay. I'm here on business with Chief Kondo. So he's not a Shinsengumi member. Okay. If he's here on business, he's not a part of us, but he has some sort of relation with the Shinsengumi. But probably not a good one with the Hijikata, seeing how he yelled at him. He seems so haughty and full of himself. I don't trust him. I don't trust this man. Takeda turned to take his leave, but then he slowed his step, leaving us with a few words. I'm haughty for No, do not be haughty for me. Be haughty for the ikemen on the screen. The ikemen are much more worth your time. Bruh. The way he's sitting here, he's so sus. He's like, oh, I'm sorry for asking for details. No, you're not. Haughty for both? Oh yes, you can be haughty for both. You're definitely... Oh wait, does that mean Hijikata's also from Edo? Once Takeda exited the hall, I couldn't help but feel a rush of relief. Is that my cat again? Hold on, my cat keeps on walking in and out of my room. Price, what are you doing? What is it? What's wrong? It's not dinner time yet. You still got an hour and 30 minutes. What you want? What is it? Go see. Go see. There you go. Have fun. Just wanted to harass you, Lottie, before I eat more. Love you, bestie. I understand. I get you. I hope you eat wonderful, delicious food, and you should definitely share it with me. Yes, sir. I didn't mean to cause any trouble.
お前の正体を知っているのはこのヤギ邸に寝起きしてるやつだけだ。
Alright, so anyone they have business with outside of here do not know about us. Okay.
前川邸からこっちに来るやつらにも気をつけろ。いいな。
Clear. I promise to be more careful going forward. So, may I ask who that man was?
あいつか。5番組組長の武田官流祭ってやつ。
Captain of the 5th Division. Alright.
腕はそこそこだが、文学だか軍学の多少の知恵を持ってるやつだ。抜け目のないやつだから気をつけろ。
Alright.
それから、用がないならお前もこの辺でうろうろしてないで。
You cannot expect me to stay in my room 24/7. Hijikata attempted to dismiss me, having said what he felt was appropriate as a stern commander. Alright, so we should be... Ask Hijikata if we can leave. Oh, no, if we can help around the compound. Okay. I didn't get many chances to see Hijikata, so I took the opportunity to offer my aid to the house. Actually, I have a favor to ask of you, Hijikata. Staying from my room in long periods of time alone makes me feel terrible unless... Would you please give me something to do? I'll do anything. Cleaning, laundry, anything. Hijikata sensed the sincerity of my plea, and it appeared as though he actually considered it.
部屋にこもっているのはそんなに退屈か?
With what? With what? Our room has nothing besides a bed and like a lamp, and that's really it. What are we supposed to do in our room just with our thoughts? Let us be housewives? Well, a little.
わかった。源さんに伝えておくから、後で指示を仰げ。
Yes, I'll be the perfect housewife, sir. Really?
その代わり、あまり外から来たやつと関わるんじゃねえぞ。
Understood, but thank you so much. The next day, Inoue informed me that I was given the freedom within the headquarters, which allowed me to exit my room freely. My duties included cleaning, laundry, and cooking. Not the most glamorous of chores, of course. However, it gave me an opportunity to occupy myself as opposed to going stir-crazy in my room. Thank God they gave me something to do. We literally have been sitting in our room day in, day out for a whole month with nothing to do. We have errands. We are useful. It's June? January, February, March, April, May, June. How many months passed? Hold on. Legit, last time they showed us the date, it was February or March. So January, February, March, April, May, June. 4 months has passed. So we've been here for at least 5 months now then, at least. June 1864. The 4th year of the Bunkyu era became the Ganji Ganen, and the summer sweetly blossomed. Spring shed its blooming skin, giving birth to lush, green trees facing the wide open sky. During one of these beautiful summer days, I finished cleaning after everyone ate breakfast, and Saito brought me to the hall to Hijikata.
副長、斉藤です。雪村を連れてまいりました。
Are we getting somewhere? Is something gonna happen?
入る。
Plot? Saito responded by quietly opening the sliding doors, gesturing me to enter the room. Upon entering, I saw Hijikata, but also Okita, Nagakura, Harada, and Heisuke in the hall. It appeared that only the captains who were aware of my situation were present.
随分と長く待たせたな。お前を外に出して。
Oh, thank God! They're letting me out! I can explore! Really? I could barely contain the excitement in my voice as soon as the words came out of his mouth. So, is it true there is a man in Fushimi that matched my father's profile?
真偽は定かじゃねえが、本人かどうかは娘のお前に確かめてもらうのが一番だと思ってな。
I nodded in response. For now, any information pertaining to my father was appreciated, so I was thankful. So, where is this man who supposedly looks like my father?
伏見にある寺田屋って宿だ。これから斎藤に確かめに行ってもらう。
Saito is assigned? I wasn't sure if that meant I was to accompany Saito or I would have to wait longer for him. Then Harada chimed in.
だが、行動さんがまだそこに留まってるとは限らねえだろう。
ああ、伏見にいたってことは今日の街中をうろついてる可能性もある。
But it's still what's the word? It's still a lead. It is still something that we have that we can go off of.
その通りだ。だから原田と新八、それから平助の巡察にこいつを同行させて行動さんを探してもらってもいい。
俺たち全員でいつもは手分けして順番に見回りしてるのに。
Hijikata didn't bother entertaining a response, instead looking towards me. Was he suggesting these were the men who were responsible for dealing with me? Should I attempt to flee? Heisuke must have sensed this as well, so he made no attempt to push the issue any further. I swear, Hijikata, I am not going to run. I swear to you, man, I am not leaving.
言いたいことは分かりましたけど、この子のおもりを僕たちに任せっぱなしってのは気に入らないな。今日は確か土方さんも外出する予定が入ってましたよね。今後のためにも可愛い故障を同行させていろいろ勉強させたらどうですか。
Oh, Okita said take her.
何を言ってやがる。こいつが俺の故障っつうのはお前が勝手に言ってただけだろうが。
でも他の大使たちは完全にそう信じ込んでるみたいですよ。嘘から出た誠なんて言葉もありますし、相応の仕事をさせた方がいいんじゃないですか。
As Okita and Hijikata bickered at one another, the mood of the room was locked in their tense words until Harada whispered to me.
まあ、今の今日は物騒だし、無理に出かける必要はねえと思うぜ。俺たちも一応、行動さんの顔はわかるんだしな。
Oh, look at him looking out for me. Everyone's slowly warming up to me, because I have been with them for at least 5 months, so they are getting used to my presence. I could look for my father in Fushimi, or join the patrol rounds assuming he moves places, or stay here to keep safe from the outside, or accompany Hijikata as his page. What should I do? Ah, and these are the different situations, so you can go with each guy. So it says for Okita, stay behind at the headquarters because he's the only one here. Because, let's see. That would be going with Hijikata. The rounds would be Heisuke, Harada, and... sorry, I forgot your other name, sir. And then the Fushimi would be with Saito. So if we would stay behind in headquarters, that should be Okita? Although my goal was to discover the whereabouts of my father, I wasn't completely sure that I was welcome to join the expedition, nor was safety assured. I appreciate your gesture, but I think I should stay behind today.
なんでだよ。行動さんを探すせっかくの機会だろ。
True, but I have to understand my place here, and I'm not sure he's here. More chances will come.
まあ、お前がそう言うんならしょうがねえけど、遠慮なんてする必要ねえのにな。
Alright, so we stayed behind. Afterwards, the men deliberated before splitting off to their directions, and I returned to my room. Perhaps I should have gone. Maybe it would have been better for me to take the risk and learn something, anything. It felt like an icy dagger was pressed into my chest, piercing my thin flesh with the cold blade.
後悔してるの？だったら一緒に行けば
I
いい。
wanted to stay with you though. Okita. I'm not regretting it. I was so ashamed, so I couldn't bear to look into his eyes. But he smiled wryly before continuing without touching my chin. While touching my chin. Oh.
へえ、後悔してないんだ。僕とはじめくんがわざわざ土方さんに掛け合って君の外出の許しをもらってあげた。
Do not tell me that. I chose that so I can romance you, sir. Huh? His revelation nearly took the air from my lungs. That was the last thing I expected him to say. A little while ago, when they tested my swordsmanship, Saito did make that promise. That they'd advise Hijikata to join their rounds. Did I really waste their kind efforts, throwing away their promise to get me out? I'm so sorry. You two worked so hard to convince him, and I...
土方さんに掛け合ったのははじめくん。僕は後ろで軽くうなずいただけ。
Oh, I'm so sorry, Hajime. Even so, I'm really sorry. When I see Saito later, I need to apologize and give my thanks to him. I can't believe I didn't realize from the start. I feel like I let them down. And as I was coming to terms with my decision, Okita stared down upon me blankly.
ただ、勘違いしないでよね。君の剣の腕前を。
I hate that look. I hate that look at his face.
あの程度の剣技は順殺じゃ何の役にも立たないから。
Oh, thanks.
君みたいな腕を道場剣術って言ってね。実戦じゃ何の役にも立たない。
Oh! Okay. So we're useless. We're literally useless. It's only for like inside, like competitions and stuff, not actually fighting people. We are useless. He was ruthless, but his criticism was spot on. So I was convinced he was right.
ついてくるのはいいけど、不用意にその子たちを抜いたり、僕たちの前に出ようとしないでね。
Legit, the only thing we can possibly do if we ever get attacked is just sit on the sidelines and hope no one attacks us. Just get out of their way, basically.
邪魔をしたり足を引っ張ったりしたら、君のこと本当に切っちゃうよ。
Oh, sir. I am shocked, but I also love it. I understand. I nodded in a plaintive manner. Okita said nothing else as he turned his back to me and exited towards the inner court. Well, damn. Is that in the chapter 1? Right? I think it's it. Chapter 1? Hey, we finished Only in Viendo, right? Only in visual novels. Is that Okita? Alright, so we finished chapter 1, and that's, I think I'm gonna call it here. So let me save, actually. Hold on, where's my save sheet? Alright, hold on. Menu. Right? Hold on. How do you... Clap. Alright, save. And then save file 3. Let me write this down. File 03 is end of chapter 1, beginning chapter 2, and this is Okita's route. Alright, yeah. So we just finished chapter 1, starting chapter 2, so that's saved. Let me save one more time too, just to be sure. Oh, it even tells you, I didn't even notice, it tells you what it is. Okay, so I'll save that. And then we'll go back to the title. And yes, proceed to the title. There we go! Yeah, that was chapter 1. We're slowly getting through it. What's the word? I'm trying to think of the word. We're slowly warming up to everyone. Okita is still interesting. He's very playful, but he will not hesitate to slice us if we cause any trouble for the Shinsengumi. So we definitely have to warm up to this man. And the little sneak peek of his CG. So we do know he has tuberculosis. And I'm pretty sure there are scenes where he's coughing up blood or something. So it might be a result of his tuberculosis acting up, or maybe he got injured, one or the other. So that was actually really interesting. I really like how the guys really have no problem trying to take me out if I do mess up with the Shinsengumi. They really do care about their little organization, and I like that about them. And it'll make it even better to romance these guys and get them to fall in love with me. So thank you everyone for stopping by. I hope everyone enjoyed themselves. I'll most likely stream this again tomorrow, starting chapter 2, since I am off, nothing to do that day. So probably same time. Maybe might go up to chapter 3, also 2 and 3, depending on how long it takes. But thank you everyone, and I hope everyone has a nice day.